Welcome to the Movilizer. In this video, we would like to show you how you can build Movelets with the Movilizer NET Connector. Before we work with the connector, we need to create a prototype Movelet. We create this prototype in the Movilizer portal. To learn how to create a Movelet in the portal, please watch the video Movilizer Portal Hello World. To import this Movelet into the .NET Connector, we need the XML code of this Movelet. To get the XML, we go to the portal and enter our prototype Movelet and click on the button View XML Source. Now we can copy this XML code, which describes this particular Movelet. We copy this code and import it into Visual Studio. Here we have prepared a Visual Studio installation. We can import different sample projects and work with them and see how the communication with the .NET Connector and the Movilizer Cloud works. We see here on the right side that the sample Movelet project has been loaded. This project contains two parts. The first part is the so-called Movilizer Windows Service, which is representing our .NET Connector. The connector contains a lot of different APIs and parts. And the second part is the sample Movelet project, which has been designed to demonstrate the possibilities and the logic behind this connector. Now we want to import our XML file into the template folder. For this, we create a new XML file from scratch. We give the file a name and add it. It is an empty file now, and we are going to paste the code we just copied from the Movilizer portal and save it. Now we need to declare this XML file as an embedded resource. Otherwise, it cannot be loaded properly. Okay, now we have a second Movelet. We have already the template. Now we need to register this file to be able to load it from our project. To do this, we go to the data folder and do some changes in constants, for example. We need to create a second Movelet reference. We give it the right name. Now we go to the factory. We load the Movelet template into the template cache. This way, we improve the performance of working with XML templates. We now have two different Movelets in the cache. Now we need to reference this Movelet in our provider. We go to our provider and create a copy of this method, create sample Movelet from template. We type in the right name. And this is pretty much all. The last thing we need to do is to update the name here. Now we look at what the manager does. The manager is main class, which is controlling the whole business logic. It incorporates all the dependencies. Now we just create the Movelet by calling the method create travel expenses Movelet from template from the correspondent provider. Okay, once again, what does the project do? We start the project. We put the device address here. It is the address of our participant which we want to assign the Movelets to. The three buttons here are Create Movelet, Get Replies, and Delete Movelet. What happens now is we sent the Movelets we created as a prototype in the Movilizer portal before out of Visual Studio environment. We insert the address now. And push this button to send a request. When we press it, the debugging is starting. Now we are going to synchronize the client, and we see that there is the Movelet we just sent out. We will execute the Movelet now. This example is a travel expenses Movelet, so we are going to capture some travel expenses. Now we synchronize and go back to the connector. We push the Get Replies button, and now we can see the replies from the Movelet we just executed. Here we see the values we just typed in on the device. To summarize what we did so far, we imported an XML file of the Movelet into the connector. To generate this XML file, we created a prototype Movelet in the Movilizer portal and exported the XML code. After executing the Movelet, we requested the replies via the connector. The last step is to delete the Movelet from the device. For this, we can click on the button Explicit Movelet Delete. Now we synchronize the client and we see that the Movelet is gone. That is all for a short demo of the Movilizer .NET Connector.